great look at an unmistakable venue. Welcome to SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. Today, a fun matchup in Seoul. It's the Washington Commanders and the LA Chargers.
Fair back in.
Going to begin this one is Cameron Dicker. And here we go from LA. It's Deebo Samuel with the return. He stopped on the run back at the 27. So the Commanders offense headed out for their opening drive. They'll be led by the second overall pick a decade ago out of the University of Oregon, Marcus Mariota.
I know quarterbacks of this ilk sure excite their teammates. They love to see his explosion and that speed come to life. I also know this, Kate, that defensive coordinator on the other side, he did not sleep good all week long, knowing he could do everything right, have the right call. That QB speed is his difference maker.
It's a gain of 19 on the play. And that's going to give the Commanders a first down.
If they get a handful of these types of plays per game, the pass game coordinator is going to be one happy camper.
Great start to this drive. They're up in the neighborhood of midfield after just one play. They're going option keeper on 1st and 10. And he's all the way across midfield down inside that 45-yard line. They gain 11 on that play. And that's good for a Washington first down.
And just in case this offense didn't have enough to contend with, now you got to worry about a quarterback that could do what he just did. Tote the ball himself for a big run.
Mariota. It was there, but he couldn't hang on. That's incomplete. His first target doesn't lead to his first catch. And it sets up second down.
I'm not sure if he was hearing footsteps or he just had a surprise break in concentration. It's so unusual at this level to see a drop pass unless there's a hit involved.
This is Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt in it for the first time. And he works it down inside the 40. That's a run of 8.
Some offenses, well, they prefer to go run in that RPO situation. It's a safer call, a little more conservative. But in this case, it gets him just as many yards as a short completion move.
3rd and just 2 to go. Throwing now on 3rd and 2. It's caught by McLaurin. And he'll get them enough for a first down.
This is one of those kind of win-win situations. Both sides feel good. As an offense, I get a completion. I get a win. As a defense, I keep everything in front of me. I make the tackle for a short gain. I get a win, too. Sometimes you can get to win-win.
From the gun, a run for Krosky-Merritt. And he's going to be down to within a yard of that red zone as the stop is made. It's a gain of 11 there, and that picks up the first.
Some backs are easier to tackle than others. Some, well, they just choose violence. They look for those opportunities to bust through tackles and keep those legs pumping.
To the line and set. Here we go, first down. They send Samuel Wright. A nice little run there, gets him 5. Second down upcoming.
Tackle made at the 16-yard line. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Now run it out of the pistol. Krosky-Merritt. Defender gets to him right around the line. It's going to be marked as no gain. So, Brock, that means 3rd down coming up. They sent him with that sack in mind, Brock. We all saw what was coming. So managed to clean up the play, even if it did come on the ground.
And you know why they call that a cat pressure from the secondary, Kate?
Tell me.
Because it's a C for corner and a T for attack. Exactly what he just did.
3rd and long. They're going to throw. Past the line, he's going to run for it. And he's got him that first down as he hits the deck safely. They're going to be looking at 1st and goal.
At the 7-yard line.
You know, that's one of those little mental Rolodex plays. Right before the snap, you know if the read isn't there, that option isn't there, you can use your legs to make the adjustment and go get the first down.
Drive has kind of seemed destined for the end zone, partner. First of a few chances now to reach it. 1st and goal, Krosky Merritt. And he's going to take it in for the Washington touchdown. The Commanders finish up an excellent opening series. So a very run-heavy approach to this one thus far. Hard to argue with the results as they start out with a touchdown, Brock.
Yep, even in a passing league, Kate, it's how a lot of teams like to start, right? Everybody loves to think of winning the line of scrimmage. Why? Well, it sets up play action. It makes your protections a little bit easier. Win the line of scrimmage in this league, you have to win the game.
Jake Moody on for the PAT. The point after splits the upright. And the Commanders will jump out to a 7-0 lead.
Commanders 7, Chargers 0.
Out to kick it away. Here's Moody. Darius Davis to return it. He's brought down just inside the 25. So now we'll get a look at the other offense as the Chargers take the field. They're led up by the 6th-year pro out of Oregon. Productive his entire career so far. You and I are both big fans of this guy, Justin Herbert.
Just ho-hum, more of the same production from Herbert in year 5. In fact, it was the cleanest football of his career, Kate. 23 touchdowns, just 3 interceptions. But he's got to check that box of playoff wins. That's not easy to do in this AFC.
2nd and 1 at the 33-yard line.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Herbert now off the play fake. Has some daylight through the 40. And the tackle's made just beyond midfield at the 48. They get 19 on that pickup. And that's going to be good for an LA first down.
The analytics will tell you a handful of these kind of plays per game, and your odds per drive of scoring go way up.
The ball's on the 48. Here we go. First down. To throw, Herbert. Connects with his back. Kimani Vidal. And they get him right at the line of scrimmage.
That just might be a throw he regretted as soon as you let it go. I know that feeling. He was doing all he could to find a completion down the field, but they were all over that check down and ready to turn it into a negative play.
They break the huddle. It's 2nd down now. It's Herbert once more. It's caught. This is Ladd McConkey. He's right up next to that first down. Doesn't quite get there. Gain of 9. That brings up 3rd and short. We're back and all set for the 2nd quarter. Charger football. They'll be set up with 3rd and only 1. Trying to sneak, it's Herbert. And he's going to be touched down as he gets him enough to pick up the first down.
Everybody understood the assignment right there. For one guy, the quarterback, get the snap and make the marker. For the other 10, drive like mad, push like crazy, and create that space for the first.
Throwing on first is Herbert. Knocked away, and that's going to be incomplete. Defender there, and that brings up 2nd down. So his first blemish, Brock, after that perfect 4-for-4 start. And wouldn't expect one incompletion, though, to stop him from leaning on him this opening drive.
No, I don't think so. And I think more than anything, you see the defense kind of... ball can hit the ground on this side.
Working from the gun here, it's Herbert. That's caught. Keenan Allen. And he won't be able to add anything else onto the end of this catch, so it's going to be a completion to the 25. It's a 13-yard play, and that's enough for the first.
1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Quite the opening drive they put together, partner. New set of downs all the way down to the 25. Idell now from the pistol. And he gets this down to the 22 before being stopped. 2 on the pickup there, and it's going to be 2nd and 8.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8.
On the play fake, it's Herbert. Right side into the hands of Allen. And they have this down to the 11 before being marked down. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And that's going to give the Chargers a first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
Working inside the red zone. And this is going to be good for a Los Angeles touchdown. The Chargers finish up their opening drive. Let McConkey with a touchdown. Well, no hesitations to start this one out, Brock. These guys came out slinging it. Seems like that's going to be what their offense leans on throughout this game.
Yep, don't see really any reason to get away from it as long as the results keep coming. The second drive, I think we'll all be watching that one. Will they mix in a little bit more run? Will they have to mix in more run, or could they continue to just shred this defense through the air?
Now it's Cameron Dicker on for the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Chargers start off well to tie things 7-7. So we've got a tie ball game now as they send this away. Here's a return from the 7. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. The Commanders, some running back Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, headed back to the field now. And after some momentum was wrestled away by that last touchdown drive, Brock, the pressure is on them to respond here. First play, they go quick out to the left, complete. And he'll get this up to the 33-yard line. Brought down on the effort by Derwin James.
Gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 33-yard line.
5 still to go here. This is 2nd down. Throwing from the gun here. That's complete to the sideline. Not a ton of room, but he does get the feet down.
It's a gain of 4. And it's 3rd down.
Third and a lone yard coming up. Krosky-Merritt gets it from the gun. And he has it right near midfield here. Looks like about a yard short. It's a gain of 12 on that one. And that's going to give the Commanders a first down.
A gain of 12. First down, Washington.
Offense there, Kate, went heavy with that 13 personnel. 1 back, 3 tight ends, and those 3 added blockers. Just the element they needed to spring that run.
First down, and they go right back to it. This is going to be down to, looks like about the opposing 36 for their next snap. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs.
A gain of 14. And the Washington first down.
Not much scoring to this point as we've reached our 2-minute warning. More football from SoFi in just a moment. They've got first down here from the 36. Throwing is Mariota. It's Cox. This is Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. And he's going to be brought down at the 23-yard line. They pick up 14 yards on that one. And that's good for a Washington first down.
This running back is a mismatch maker. That's how I label him on my little sheet right here. Right under his bio, this guy just creates matchup nightmares for every defender on the field.
Back to throw, Mariota. Has him on the quick hitter. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain.
It's a big number 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the Chargers 17-yard line.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Back to throw, Mariota. Splits a couple of defenders and completes it. And they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal here from the 7. The Commanders take a timeout. They're first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. And that right there is about the best you could hope for against double coverage. Good chunk of yards, and more importantly, Brock, but don't get burned taking a risk.
Yeah, it's really the defense that gets burned, and that is just demoralizing. You got double coverage, you got what you want, and 2 guys can't stop one.
Giving this to Kronsky-Merritt. And that right there is the start of what could be a goal line stand. They hit him for a loss on 1st and goal. Timeout called by the Chargers. They're first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. The loss sets him up at the 9-yard line. It's 2nd and goal. Mariota. Into the hands of his running back, Kronsky-Merritt.
Some certainly do it better than others, Kate, but every running back in the league today has got to do just that. You cannot be a one-dimensional back in the league anymore. You can't. You got to be able to handle your business, both toting the ball as a runner, and really importantly as a check-down outlet on short throws.
Here he goes, 3rd and long. And the Chargers get home, and they drop him. LA uses a timeout here. It's 2nd. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half. Here's Jake Moody for the field goal. A very short kick here from the right hash.
29-yard attempt.
Moody knocks it through. And that's going to break our tie and give them a 3-point advantage.
I never saw a play script that ended with a field goal. It was always a touchdown that you wanted. That's 3 points, and it's enough to give them the lead.
Out to kick it away. Here's Moody. Fielded at the 7. They'll have decent field position to begin with here, Brock. He's tackled just beyond that 30-yard line. The Chargers getting their offense set for their 2nd drive. With the time remaining, let's see if they can get this into field goal range. Just over 30 seconds left in the half as they come to the line. First and 10, Herbert. Short pass brought in. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stops. The Chargers call a timeout. That's their last one. And that's all they've got for what little remains of this half.
Small pass, big result. This dude is just a juggernaut with the football, and once he gets rolling, it gets tougher and tougher and tougher to stop him from playing add-on with those yards.
Just a yard left to go on 2nd down. Herbert from the gun. To the right, pulled in by McConkey. And he's able to move past the 45 before going out. Call it 7 yards on the play, and that's enough for the 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Shotgun snap to Herbert. And this one falls incomplete. Still 17 seconds left to play.
What a great fight from those blockers to keep buying in time in the pocket to find a throw. You wish that effort could have been rewarded with a completion.
After the incompletion, they come up on 2nd and 10. Herbert to throw once more. And the cover just too good there. Didn't find a throw that he was confident in, so just throws it away. Third down coming up.
That is a DB's best friend, pressure. That pressure earned that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target and hit him to alter that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got third down. Herbert throwing again. Coverage holds up, and he just had to get rid of it.
Kate, as a quarterback, that is so rough. Incomplete, incomplete, incomplete. You're going to go to the sidelines, you're going to look at that tablet, and you're going to try to figure out how in the heck do we turn this around.
So on fourth down, here's J.K. Scott on to punt it away for the Chargers. He has it at the 13. And they're going to get there to force him out. But a nice play for the offense to go out on, as that's going to end our first half. So a field goal game at the half. Good one so far, 2 quarters to go. Now let's check in with Scott Hanson. He's got our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Scott Hanson, good to be with you from the Orlando EA Sports Studios with an abridged halftime report. This one shaping up to be a tight one, as evidenced by the scoreboard. Both these teams playing it close to the vest in the first half. What will happen in the second half? Let's find out as we send it back to the stadium and our commentary team, Kate Scott and Brock Heward.
Excellent work as always, Scott. Love that halftime report. Just a field goal game for us here as we start quarter number 3. Out to kick it away. Here's Moody. His return starts at the 5. And a decent run back is going to end as they bring him down inside the 30. Los Angeles getting its offense set to go to begin the third. And as they get set, partner, gotta imagine they're bringing some urgency with them to the field this drive, too.
Yeah, I think you and I both know in calling these NFL games, that sense of urgency can be replaced by full-blown panic in a hurry. So find a way to possess the ball and, more importantly, score some points.
And he's brought down after a short gain.
You know, you compare and contrast stats over the decades, Kate. One thing you see is that completion percentages are through the roof. In this day and age, compared to the 60s and the 70s, a big reason is just completions like that. Utilizing every one of your eligible receivers. That time, a running back in the flat.
Herbert back to throw. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And that pushes them back. Third down coming up.
That is not the way they needed to come out of the locker room here to begin the second half. Trailing, you got to play with a sense of urgency. You got to protect your quarterback. And they didn't either.
Five DBs out there for the Commanders on third. Third and long for him here. Did not like what he was seeing, Brock, so he's just going to hurl this one away.
There was almost no resistance offered against a rush that came off the line ready to maul anything in sight. It was all the QB could do to get rid of that before he gets absolutely clobbered.
The Chargers lined up in punt formation. J.K. Scott will kick it away. And that fair catch corralled just beyond the 25-yard line. The Commanders and running back Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt headed back to the field now. And it has been all about these defenses so far, Brock. Even into the second half, we're still waiting for one of these offenses to take charge.
Yeah, what you're feeling, these defenses are making every yard tough, every first down tough, every series tough. And offensively, yeah, it's time to toughen up and maybe more importantly, sharpen up.
Call it 7 yards, and now they'll have second down and 3.
A 7-yard pickup brings up second and 3.
Putting a receiver in motion. Now he'll throw off the play fake. That's complete to Zach Ertz. And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line. Give him an 18-yard pickup there. And that's going to give the Commanders a first down.
You know I love those chunk completions. They're so critical. Those chunk plays, they lead statistically so often to scoring. And then when you get it to a tight end and play action, it's just a little icing on the cake.
Looks like they're going option keeper on 1st and 10. And he has this down to the 34. Pickup of 12 on that play. And that's good for a Washington 1st down.
When they drop these plays for the quarterback, these are the type of results they're expecting, Kate. Something that could tear a hole in the defense, move the chains, and just as importantly, and maybe most importantly, put a seed of doubt and thought into that defensive mind that the QB can run at any time.
Hits him on the in route. And he's able to get this to the 32 before going down.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line.
8 yards to go, and let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Design quarterback run here. And he's going to have this one down to the 20. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the 1st.
Ooh, I like that. I really like that execution to move the chains. Now that 3rd down call that they had ready, well, they could stick it right back in the pocket for a later occasion.
Good call up on 1st and 10. Give it to Krosky Merritt. And he only manages one. Couple of defenders there to bring him down. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. They're going to run again here with Krosky Merritt. 2nd down run, good for 4, and that brings up 3rd down.
You make that call to just give yourself a fighting chance on 3rd down, Kate. Take at least a little bite of the big meal between them and the 1st down marker. And that should make this upcoming call a little less daunting.
Good moving drive, but it could stall out here. We've got 3rd and 4. Shotgun snap. They'll throw. It's going to be short of that goal line, Brock, but not of the marker. They've got a 1st and goal.
Deebo Samuel. 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
Waste of time.
Boy, they sure found the right route at the right time to hit the soft spot in that coverage. And that slant, it goes for big yardage.
1st and goal. They'll try an option to the left. And he gets in. Touchdown. The Commanders push their lead further to start the half. Well, we all knew somebody was running with it there, and when the defender started flowing towards the back, he made the right call that he would be the one to run it in.
Yeah, he sure did. I think if he hands that off, this play does not end in a touchdown, but in a collision for his running back.
Yeah.
So not only is that running back thanking his quarterback, the rest of the guys are celebrating for that decision.
On is Moody for the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Commanders make it a 10-point ball game.
Commanders 17. Chargers 7.
Out to kick it away. Here's Moody. On the return, here comes Davis. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Possession switching back to the LA offense as they head out. And what's really been simply stunning, Brock, is how far we've made it into the game, and their passing game, it is still grounded.
Yeah, so as they're sitting here losing right now, what I hear you saying, Kate, is it's time for this offense to take flight?
They give right side to Vidal. This drive's going to start out with a gain of 5 before they bring him down.
You know, Kate, that might be a little bit of a disappointing run to him. He wanted more. They always do. That's exactly what they were after offensively to get this drive moving.
At the 31-yard line.
So gain of 5 on that 1st down. Let's see if they can repeat that performance now here on 2nd. They stay on the ground with Vidal. And he's going to be brought down here at the 42.
It's a gain of 11. And the Chargers first down.
This is the end of the third quarter. The Chargers have the ball, and they're going to need to score. They come in trailing. First down from the 42. Here's Herbert. Fits it through the middle. And they're going to be set up just outside that red zone. Pick up a 34 yards on that play. And that's going to be good for an LA first down.
First down. First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Just about every offense since the beginning of time, since the forward pass, Kate, has loved a tight end that could stretch the middle of the field. Man, I remember as a kid watching Kellen Winslow Sr. dice up right here between the hashes, and what a difference it can make for an offense.
Throwing on first is Herbert. Completed over the middle. And he's going to be taken down near the 8-yard line. Give him about 16 yards on that gain, Brock, and it sets him up with first and goal.
I love throwing on first down. And when you see a first down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you planned for, and you go out and execute.
Receiver in motion. He's headed right. From the red zone now. Catch made. And that is a Los Angeles touchdown. The Chargers make it a 4-point game here in the fourth. Great opportunity to find a touchdown there, Brock, and they come through with 6.
Receivers want the ball everywhere on the football field. But you start smelling the end zone, they really want their chance. And they will tell you as a quarterback, just give me an opportunity and I'll make a play. He sure did.
They can tack on one more now, bring things back to within a field goal. And he connects there, so now another kick from them, a field goal, to tie this game in the fourth.
Commanders 17, Chargers 14.
Call is set up, and it's away. Just a 3-point game now. Here's a return from the 7. And he's brought down just beyond that 25-yard line. The Washington offense getting set for its next possession. And after that touchdown, cut their lead back to 1 score, Bronc. A response in order as they take over. All right, working from the gun to start. First and 10. They put a receiver in motion right. Starting on the ground here, Krosky Merritt. And he will get this inside the 30.
Coming off that carry, I'd go right back to it. Not a hotter hand on the field right now. Get that man the rock.
First down, Commanders.
So the big play has him well into enemy territory and field goal range. They're inside the 30. Now Mariota. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. That was Terry McLaurin on the target. And that'll bring up second down. One of the rare instances there, Brock, where the quick slant doesn't win against zone coverage. He just couldn't hang on to the football.
No, we know this, Kate. In man coverage, it's about that separation, right?
Yeah.
You've got to win and create leverage versus zone. It's all about that anticipation and accuracy. And if you're not on point, that zone defender can break it up.
Cut at the 10-yard line. And even 20 yards on the play, and it awards them with a first and goal.
Wow, certainly found the weak spot in the coverage with that catch. Really goes to show they trust every single player, receiver, running back, in that case, tight end, to be a playmaker in this offense.
Krosky Merritt straight ahead. Bounces this outside and winds up with a nice chunk of yards there as a result. It's second down.
You gain that kind of yardage in the run game, and you're going to gain the trust of your offensive coordinator. Plays like that, runs like that, set the table for everything else in the playbook.
So from the 3, here's second and goal. Short side option here. He's running left. And he's in. Touchdown, Washington.
Touchdown.
The Commanders make it a 9-point advantage. My partner up here is pumping his fist after that one. That is how you run an option as a quarterback. Good read to hang on to it and do it himself.
Yeah, because I could never do that, not even close. But when the defense overplays and you run that option, you get that good 2-on-1, more times than not, they will commit to the more dangerous guy, the running back. But you leave a lane, this quarterback can do some damage as well.
On is Moody for the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Commanders make it a 10-point ball game.
Commanders 24, Chargers 14.
Out to kick it away. Here's Moody. On the return, here comes Davis. Things going well so far. And he showed some nice bursts on that run back, didn't he? Getting them all the way out to their own 40. The Charger offense making its way to the field. This could be the decisive drive. Down 2 scores late. They've got to find some points to get it back within 1. To the line on 1st and 10. Chargers beneficiaries of some good field position. McConkey's got it on the sideline. And they're going to bring it down just on the other side of midfield. And it's a gain of 12 on that one. And that's going to give the Chargers the first down.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Ball and defender arrived at the exact same time there. And now they face second down.
Defender's not going to be thrilled the catch was almost made on his watch, but more importantly, he breaks it up. Gives him a chance to do a little jawing after the play. Lets the other guy know he roughed him up and cost him that catch.
2nd and 10. Herbert trying again. Finds him over the middle. So a solid gain there, Brock, but still 3rd down and short that they've got to figure out now as they pick up 9 on that previous play.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
It's the 2-minute warning here in L.A. Chargers got to score in a hurry. It's a nickel look from the Commanders. 3rd down. Looking to throw on 3rd and 1. And it's incomplete, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
That is just a nice stretch of some reps there defensively. Really one of the areas when you watch college game to the NFL game that there is a vast difference. That's the tightness of coverage. These windows of opportunity are small, and they could not find a completion.
So on 4th down, on comes Cameron Dicker and the Chargers for a field goal try. It's a deep shot for him from that left hash.
They needed a few things to go right to make a comeback. And the first one, well, you had to. That was not a want to. That was a have to with that field goal. Without it, tough to imagine overcoming a 2-score deficit, Kate.
The Commanders and running back Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt headed back to the field now. And as that defense comes off the field clean, making the stop, Brock, they've got to feel that they're just moments away from this victory.
Yeah, the odds would tell you that. Certainly a 2-possession lead this late ought to do it, but crazy things happen in this league every week. So don't go taking that jersey off until your offense hopefully runs out the clock.
Now whistles and a timeout taken quickly by the defense. 1:50 left to go.
It's one of those sneaky little runs, Kate, that gets you enough yards to create some doubt into that defensive coordinator. You can stick to the ground. You could throw beyond the sticks. It really creates some indecision now defensively.
First down run, nabs him 5. Now 2nd and 5.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
Running once again with Krosky-Merritt. Well, even a great game is going to have its lesser moments. You can't get anything out of that carry. Stop for no gain. LA uses a timeout here. It's second. And they'll have just one left to burn now.
Third down.
Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. Dive play straight ahead. And he gets the first down for the Commanders, and that should get them this victory as well. The Chargers call a timeout. That's their last one. And they are quite frustrated having to call that after giving up the first. Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on first down. Line up the design keeper. Lining up to take a knee on second down. They're drawing up for him. So score this as a win for the Commanders. Well, Brock, this one certainly had its bright moments. Going to be talking about those in the days to come. Another great game, and we had the good fortune once again of having a bird's eye view to it all.
It's a lot like what they say about golf. There's no such thing as a bad day on the course, and there's no such thing as a bad time calling an NFL game either. These two teams were able to give us some highlights and one exciting game to cover.
This has been another edition of the NFL on EA Sports. With all our crew here and my broadcast partner, Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott. It's a win for the Commanders as we say goodbye from Los Angeles.
Okay, it's over.